Today is the day. We're changing the world in Sevier County. We are open, cutting the ribbon. Already had 7 events. Actually got one more new contract signed in this morning, and that's number 32. So awesome stuff. We're projected right now with what's contracted at $13 million in economic impact against the goal of $10 million in economic impact. So we're on the right road. So appreciate everybody's support on this thing. It's been a long couple of years in the process, but we're here, we're open. Come visit. Thanks.
I'd like to welcome everyone here this morning for such a great occasion for Gatlinburg and Sevier County. You know, this facility, this whole complex is going to affect thousands of lives of young adults, kids that play sports, families, and for a lot of people, the first time they will experience Gatlinburg. I'd like to introduce now Larry Burcham for a word of prayer.
May we pray together? Father, what a glorious day this is, and how much we have to celebrate here in this place. Of course, we celebrate your presence here that reminds us, Father, you're not limited to church buildings or Sunday mornings, but you are part of every day and every aspect of our lives. So we welcome you here. We celebrate today this facility that we are dedicating. What a difference it will make in the lives of young people. It celebrates things like competition and family, the enjoyment of life, good sportsmanship, positive physical health. All of these things wrapped up in this facility sit here in the midst of the beauty of this part of your world that we call the Great Smoky Mountains. So, Father, thank you for this facility. Thank you for all who gave so much in order that it might be here today. And we pray that you will bless not only this gathering today, but the future of this facility, that it will be a source of pride for our community and a source of joy and well-being for all who come here. And we pray it in the name of Christ. Amen.
Now would everyone please stand? Kayla Hayes Bennett will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home
Thank you, Kayla. You know, Rocky Top Sports World is the result of many people's dream that became a reality. And it took a collaboration between Gatlinburg, Sevier County school system, and that made this all happen. And now I'd like to introduce our County Mayor, Larry Waters.
Thank you very much, Mike. It is indeed a privilege and honor to be here today at this ribbon cutting ceremony, which is the beginning of a great facility here in our county that we think is going to be a tremendous asset. It is my honor today to introduce some folks to you, and I have a list here, and as I call your name, if you would please stand and remain standing, and then at the end, let's give these folks a round of applause, because all of them have had some part in making this facility a reality. So I'll begin with members of the Gatlinburg City Commission. We have Jerry Hayes, Mark McCowan, and Don Smith. From Sevier County, we have Greg Patterson, our Sheriff Ron Seals. We have Commissioners Mike Chambers, Warren Hurst, Crow Ogle, and Frank Parton. We have from the school board, Mike Oakley, Charles Temple, and John McClure. We have representing Congressman Rowe's office, Bill Snodgrass. We have representing Senator Corker's office, Jane Jolly. We also have from Pittman Center, the mayor, Glenn Cardwell, and the city manager, Sherry Dudley. From the city of Sevierville, we have Wayne Helton. And I'd also like for members of the advisory committee to stand, if you would. Kirby Smith, Jackie Leatherwood, and Warren Hurst. If you would join me in welcoming these folks to the facility. And I'd like to begin by thanking, first of all, the County Commission, because without their support, Sevier County could not have participated in this great sports complex that you're going to tour today and be able to see and how beautiful it is. But the County Commission stepped forward and supported this project from the beginning. So I want to thank them for that support, and also thank the Gatlinburg officials, all of whom it has been a pleasure to work with in making this a reality. Sevier County was in on the beginning of this facility. A little background, the Sevier County Economic Development Council several years ago did a study about a sports complex in Sevier County, and we began talking with all of the entities in Sevier County about making that a reality, and it ended up that Gatlinburg came forward with this concept, and from day one, as I said, Sevier County has been involved in the facility. So I appreciate all of those officials. It's going to be a great economic benefit to our county. We have looked at the numbers. We studied them very closely before we ever participated, and we see that we're going to, and right now we're above projections about the number of participants we have. So we are going, Sevier County, along with the city of Gatlinburg, we think we're going to recoup the funds that we have invested in this facility over a number of years. Not only recoup the funds from a government standpoint, but we think from the private sector standpoint, this is going to be a tremendous plus for not just Gatlinburg, but for the entire county. And not only from an economic standpoint, but we think what's going to happen with young people at this facility is going to be exciting. We're going to have families in here. Those families are going to be participating in events that are positive and going to have a positive influence on literally tens of thousands of young people, not just across this region, but across the state and across the United States. So we're going to get a lot of economic benefit out of this, as well as we're going to have a positive impact on the lives of so many young people. So this whole facility is such an asset to our area. It's going to provide jobs for our citizens. It's going to provide not just jobs here, but jobs throughout the county for private businesses that are going to get additional business from this facility. So we are extremely proud to be a part of this from a county standpoint and look forward to its opening. And I just saw one more commissioner that was not on my list, Mike Hillard, and wanted to mention Mike, and glad he's here. But we do, from a county perspective, we're proud to be a part of this facility and look forward to its continued success throughout the years. So thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce one of the best city managers in the entire United States, Cindy Cameron Ogle.
Thank you. He said exactly what I told him to say. So for that, I thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner Werner, as he has worn so many titles in our town and has done such a great job for us. It is my honor to be here today on this wonderful day for our city and county. We have been close to 3 years, probably more like 4 years, planning this, and now we are here today to celebrate the official ribbon cutting and opening of this wonderful sports complex. There's actually 4 words, 2 things that summarize how positive this whole thing has been. This project opened on time and on budget. And for those of you who are involved in this, you know how extremely important that is. So I have several folks that I want to thank on behalf of all of us, the city and the county. And before I do that, Larry alluded or mentioned how we got involved in this project. And I think just for the benefit of setting the stage of what we're doing here today or why we're here today, is to share a little bit of that with you. We were first approached, the City of Gatlinburg, by the Sevier County Economic Development Council to participate in a study to look at a sports complex, a county-wide facility. And so we thought about that, and we thought, well, we're not real sure about this, but what the heck, we'll go be a participant in this. So all the cities in the county, and I think a couple of the private entities such as our aquarium in Dollywood, also participated in that study. And the study came back in 2011, and it really opened our eyes to the importance of sports tourism. It is the only industry during the recession, only tourism industry sector that actually grew during the recession. And obviously this is what really got us very, very interested in doing that. So we hung in there with the whole attempt to do a county-wide facility. That did not happen, thank you. And so that led to the City of Gatlinburg saying, we really want to be about sports tourism. We really want to develop this industry in our town. And so we continued conversations as it related to that with both the Economic Development Council and with the county. And we got a bunch of people together, and I would name all the names, but I don't want to leave anyone out. There were several people that started brainstorming, how could we possibly do a facility of this magnitude in our town that is hemmed in by the park on 3 sides. We're blessed, so very blessed, to be the gateway community to the Great Smoky Mountains. We're hemmed in by the park on 3 sides, and we are the mountains. We have this mountainous terrain. And where in the world could we put together a project of this magnitude? And from there came the idea of the collaboration with the Gatlinburg-Pittman High School campus, with the existing city community center, with the Mills Park facility, and then the purchase of the acreage actually that we're standing on today, and the acreage where you will see the wonderful new outdoor fields. So it was a lot of effort and work. We did additional study as it related to the economic feasibility of this. That is when we actually engaged SFA, Sports Facilities Advisory Group, to do an economic performance business analysis for us. And that is when we said, you know, we think we can put this together, and let's go put it together. An extremely important point I want to make as well is that without the county participation, and all of my bosses, those down here and those on the stage, know that without the county participation, this was not possible to be done. So for that, we are eternally grateful for the support of the county. So here we are, and here's the folks that we really need to thank, and as to the many significant players that were involved in this. So I want to begin by thanking the city's Mayor Mike Helton, Vice Mayor Mike Werner, and Commissioners Jerry Hayes, Mark McCowan, and Don Smith. Due to their incredible leadership and vision, this project is happening today. And I would like to give them an individual round of applause because of that leadership and vision. If we could do that, please. There were other city boards that were involved, certainly, that need to be acknowledged, and that would be our Public Building Authority and the Recreation Board, along with our Recreation Director, Marty Nicely. Then, to reiterate, County Mayor Larry Waters, and we have a good time kind of aggravating each other. I guess kind of is an understatement. But I do want to say that with his leadership and his support, this is what's caused this to happen here today. And the Sevier County Commission and their participation at 30% again was critical, so a round of applause for them, please. Also, Director of Schools, Dr. Jack Parton, and the Sevier County Board of Education. Their support and cooperation was key to the project. That's what really made the project come together, and for that, we're very grateful as well, Dr. Parton and the school board. Okay. Then you bring in the folks that really help you put on paper what you want to do, and that would be the design team of Barbara McMurray Architects, led by Kelly Hedden and Angela Barriers. So to them, we express great thanks as well. And just a couple more. The construction team of Blaine Construction, led by John Farner and Eddie Moles, who did an unbelievable job, again, in getting this project done on time and on budget, says it all. Thank you, John and Eddie, and the rest of your team. The Sports Facility Advisory Group, led by Dev Patik, and you'll hear from Dev here in a few moments, and Jason Clement. They have been an extremely critical partner and now really are the critical partner as it relates to the future success of this facility. So we thank them for that. The Sevier County Economic Development Council and Executive Director Alan Newton, as I mentioned earlier, this was the impetus for the whole idea of the sports project and sports tourism and educating us about that. So I'd like to give Alan and the Economic Development Council a round of applause. And then special thanks to Assistant County Mayor Greg Patterson, former fire chief of the city of Gatlinburg, one of the many folks that we train very well here in the city, and then we send to the county so the county can survive. Greg Patterson was bestowed, where is Greg? Has he already run away? There he is. He was bestowed the dubious distinction of becoming the project manager on behalf of both me and Larry. and he has done a terrific job in terms of leading this project to its conclusion today. I've been really mad about you leaving, but now we got you back and we don't even have to pay for you. So for that, Greg, seriously, a lot of thanks to you for all your work. He's lived this project for the last couple of years, and for that I'm greatly appreciative. So a round of applause for Greg. And then I just simply and reverently want to thank God for blessing me with wonderful family and friends and placing me in this most beautiful part of the planet, placing me here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, in the Great Smoky Mountains, and now in this wonderful Rocky Top Sports Complex. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. You know, we did a little traveling when we were doing our due diligence. We went to Texas and looked at indoor facilities similar to this, not quite as nice as this. Looked at outdoor artificial turf fields, got a feel and walk on them. Went to Dalton, Georgia, met the Peoples family, wonderful people. They own AstroTurf. We've got a wonderful facility here. And you know, we kept thinking and saying, you know, we need to find somebody to manage it, to get it started on the right foot. And everybody that we asked about who would be the best people to manage a sports complex like this, SFA's name always came to the top. And they are a great group. They've assembled a great team here. Last night we got together for dinner. It was like a little pregame meal for today. And you could hear all of the laughter and the camaraderie. It just made us all feel like really good. We've got the right people here. We've got the right organization running this place. And with that, please welcome Dave Petit.
I don't know about you, but you know, we've had the great privilege to be involved from the beginning. But when you drive up to this facility, when you arrive at it, no matter how many facilities you've been to, you can't help but to say, wow. And if you haven't seen outside, you're going to say, wow, again. And when you turn a corner and you look at the views, you're going to say, wow, again. If you arrived today and at some point in your mind or the first time you got here, you said, wow, would you mind just raising your hand? That sentiment among us. And as you go around the facility today, we hope you had that experience. We're the first to experience it here. But in the years ahead, there are literally tens of thousands of kids and families, people from distant locations who are going to be here, and they're going to arrive. They're going to say wow to Sevier County. They're going to say wow to downtown Gatlinburg. But when they get to this facility, they're going to be wowed. This is a world-class facility. From the design, the concept, and the planning, it's second to none, absolutely second to none. Those groups that are already booked here at this stage, there are 14,000 room nights associated with this first year's bookings. That's well ahead of pace. That's $13 million in new spending that's going to come into this community. And all of those people that are coming here to do things that are healthy. We live at a time when we wonder if our kids are going to be okay. We wonder if our politicians are doing the right thing for us. And this facility is an expression of hope for those of us who've been involved with it, because your public officials held a vision. They tried to figure out what to do that would be good for the community, how to create jobs, how to bring new economic impact, but also what would be good and family-oriented. And this is what they've come up with. It was their vision, it was their leadership, it was their perseverance, and it takes a lot as a public official to get out and say we're going to spend this money on something that you may or may not understand. So I think a ton of credit has to go to the public officials that have been acknowledged here today, to Mayor Waters, to Cindy Ogle, to Greg Patterson, to Mike Werner, Alan Newton, Lori and Steve, who are running this facility now, and Steve Eaton. Extraordinary vision. If you think about what's going to happen here in the years ahead, what you'll know is that literally, out of the folks that I've talked about already, but in the years ahead, there will be millions of hours of healthy activity for these kids, for these families. And it's something that's so vitally needed in our society. So as we praise the economic impact and the jobs creation and what's going to happen here, I'd also ask you to think about the moments of triumph that are going to happen on the playing surfaces that you'll see today. AstroTurf did an amazing job outside. The courts are second to none. Absolutely beautiful facility. And I do hope that you will take a minute to pause today to give thanks for the great public officials that are shepherding your money and creating new jobs and opportunity for you. It's a rare, rare thing. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dev. The next person that I want to introduce, he also carried this dream forward. He had a lot to do with this happening, and he's one of my heroes. Anybody that manages over 2,000 people is definitely impressive. Dr. Jack Park.
It's obvious that Mike doesn't have his bar set real high if I'm his hero. I want y'all to know that. I want to come to you today and just to say this, is that the Sevier County Board of Education was excited about this project, got on board early on. We saw the vision of what it could happen to us, and to us, we saw not only were we impacting the lives of children, but we're also enabling us to have another revenue stream that would invariably come to the Sevier County school system, and we're very appreciative of that. And our working relationship with Rocky Top Sports World has been excellent. We are going to continue to share facilities, parking, gymnasiums, things like that. It's going to be just one big glove, we hope. And we're talking about the Sevier County school system, but let's talk about Walters State Community College as well. You know, for the people that live here in Gatlinburg, there was the Maples Estate, which was donated to Walters State Community College a few years back. And when the city went to Walters State Community College to buy that piece of property for a price of $1 million, Walters State at that time set aside that $1 million for scholarship monies for Sevier County students. So I think we owe Walters State Community College a round of applause as well. Sevier County schools have often worked with many of the different cities here in Sevier County, and we feel like that this project was a catalyst for us to work with the city of Sevierville and Pigeon Forge to help to go to them and ask them if they would help us with artificial fields on those particular school fields. And so now I'm proud to say that we have 5 artificial fields in the Sevier County school system, and we're the largest school system in the state of Tennessee that can say that. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to introduce a good friend of mine and somebody that really has had a lot to do with this all happening also, our mayor, Mike Helton.
What a great day for the city of Gatlinburg and Sevier County. Appreciate the Sevier County Commission stepping up, as well as my fellow commissioners on this project. But 2 people I think really haven't been thanked enough. Larry Waters. Larry, stand again. And Cindy Ogle. These 2 folks were instrumental in leading their respective governments in the financing, the headaches, and trying to keep everybody straight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mike. The next person that I'd like to introduce, we were in severe leadership together, and I'm so proud of what she's done with the state as our Commissioner of Tourism, Ms. Susan Whitaker.
Thank you so much. This is such a pleasure for me to be here on just a number of accounts. Anytime I can have a reason to be back in Sevier County and be by the mountains, that's a good day, any day. But I am particularly excited for this community and for what you're doing here. And I'm going to just share a little bit about why I think you have caught one of the biggest waves on one of the most substantial trends that have happened in tourism over the last 25 years. And this I had to have an aha moment myself about this, and this goes back about 8 years ago. I live a little bit south of Nashville right now, and now hopefully that won't last forever, but I am there now, and I'm missing this place, but knowing that I am very interested in making sure that I get out and get to know the community. So my husband and I went out for dinner, and we could not find a place in town where there was an open table. And it wasn't that there were all these people that I knew that were sitting in these chairs in these restaurants. There were these families with, I would say, probably at that time, 9th, 10th grade girls suited up in basketball uniforms. And they were sitting there with their families, and they were packing out every single restaurant in Franklin. That's where I live now. And I thought, what in the world is this about? If one of the high schools doing something weird? Okay, fast forward just about 2 weeks after that. I have a grandson, a couple grandsons that live with me, and I was invited to bring them to a birthday party at this place called A-Game. I had no idea what A-Game was. I'm picturing this little strip mall where I'm going to take them for laser tag, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, if I can even find this microscopic place. And I pull into this place that is this enormous parking lot. That caught my attention with this building. But what really caught my attention were all these SUVs, Escalade SUVs. They were unloading these little tiny, they were the hockey players, little tiny hockey players that were dragging this stuff that was taller than they were, headed towards this building. And I thought, what in the world is this place? So I went in and I saw that not only was it 2 hockey rinks, but they also had all this basketball, volleyball, just these courts everywhere. And I thought, how did this grow up under my nose in my community? I have no idea what this is. So I thought, I'm going to find out, because I am now relating this to the fact that I couldn't even get a place to eat. These were all out-of-towners a couple weeks ago. Something's going on really big here. I looked into it, in fact, I will tell you, the folks from the Williamson County CVB, they were not aware right away of what was going on, because this thing called youth sports has kind of crept up on all of us. And what's happened is, for the affluent American, this has become their family vacation. For those of you who have kids in elite sports or any kind of sports, and I'm not talking about the ones associated with middle and high schools, because those are great teams too. But of the 57 million kids playing sports under the age of 18, and I got this statistic from Joan Cronin, who I think is a pretty reliable source, 50 million of them are not involved at middle school and high school. They're in the other teams, the AAUs, the elite teams. These are the travel teams. And they are out there with their families, especially those 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade girls that are traveling for all these sports. And the grandma's there, the mom and dad are there, the kids are there. And Disney, I found out, had picked up on this years ago. They have this great family place, family entertainment, known for being the magic place to come for a vacation. And you would think that would have been enough, just like we could look at Gatlinburg, and Vicki Sims has so many wonderful things to talk about here, Ripley's, and just the beauty of the Smokies. Why would they add a huge sports complex for youth where all these national teams could come in? Because they're smart, they like to see money made, and they got on board early. And they are ranked #1 as far as the best place to go. But you already have a ranking of #6, and you've just opened your doors. Let me tell you, you have made an impact across the country in terms of a place to come. This is a family-friendly community. I have fun going everywhere across the country, and even now internationally, to talk about what a great place the Smoky Mountains are, Sevier County is, and I will tell you that I don't even have to talk about it anymore. I just have to say where I'm from, and they start telling me about it and what they know. You layer on top of that now the fact that there are all of these families who no longer have that extra time to take a family vacation, because every weekend they are taking their child somewhere on a trip to go to some kind of a tournament. It's great, healthy fun for the kids. It's a way, I think some of them think they're going to pay for college. Who knows? It doesn't, maybe it will, but it's all good. But when they come, they're looking for things to do when they're not having their child play. And having this sports complex here in the midst of one of the best places for a family vacation is going to be bringing to you that affluent family on their vacation. I just congratulate you for catching that wave, for being ahead of the trend. As Wayne Gretzky used to say, don't skate to where the puck is, you skate to where it's going. You have skated to where the puck is going. You are going to see the results of that, and we are going to see the results of that at the state level. More money for all of us to do the things that are important in education, and I'm so excited to see education a part of this complex too. But you really have much to be proud of, and the people here who made this happen, figured out a way to do this, need to be congratulated. You will be reaping the rewards of this for years to come. Congratulations.
Thank you, Susan. The next person that I would like to introduce is one of the winningest coaches in college football, and I'm so glad that he's a part of Rocky Top Sports World, Coach Philip Fulmer.
Thank you. You have obviously already been well informed about the benefits of Rocky Top Sports World, and not only from an economic impact, but also from the youth improvement standpoint, a safe place for young people to come and families to come and enjoy this destination. I do know a little bit about teamwork and how teams get to an end of a place of being the best that they can be, and I really, really compliment your leadership from all areas of city and county government, all the people involved to make this happen, because that is not an easy thing. To have a vision and then to go execute that vision is something that's really, really special. This is a great facility. This is not a good facility. This will be a destination place from people across the country. I had a chance to very early have a conversation about it. Initially, I wasn't sure that it was something I'd even had time to do. But after having a chance to sit down with everybody and understand the passion that they had to make this happen, the effort that was being put into it, and then to come here and see the facility, it was a no-brainer for me whatsoever. If you followed Tennessee football, you realize that we had a good run over a period of time at Tennessee, and I'm proud of all those wins. But more than that, I'm proud to have been able to touch as many lives of young men as I had a chance to touch. You know, the 18 to 22-year-old is an age that you basically go from adolescence into manhood. What you're allowing young people to do and families to do by coming here is the precursor to that place in their life. To build a foundation that is going to last forever, to have memories at this destination place that will absolutely last forever. We have to be a team here in the Sevier County. We're all friends and neighbors, and we have to really, if every person told one other person about this across the country, just think how many more people we would have a chance to impact. If you followed us closely at UT, you know that my girls were on the sidelines at UT. And I've got a meaning to tell this story. I wish I could say it was my idea. It was Vicky's idea. She came to me one day. The boys, the sons of the coaches, could all be ball boys when they were 12. And that was just a given. The boys got to 12 and they were going to be ball boys. We never had ball girls, and Vicki didn't really ask about it. She instructed and told me that when Courtney got to be 12, she was going to be a ball girl. And I began to create every reason why that shouldn't really happen. Vicki, you know, those are big guys, and they could run into her on the sidelines, and you know, they've got to really do a good job of getting the ball dry on wet days to get it back to the official or whatever. Of course, the whole time I'm concerned about what they might hear their dad say on the sideline. But the truth of it, it turned out to be the absolutely greatest thing that we ever did as a family, because all of a sudden they felt the passion of Tennessee football. They had a chance to be around those guys that they had seen Dad work with, or they knew why Dad was away from them as much. And it was a very, very special time. And I'm here to tell you today, this is the same kind of thing. because as a Gatlinburg and Sevier County family, if you come together to make this as special as it can be, then there will be no better facility in the country for families to come to and enjoy. And certainly the economic development part of it is real and it's out there. But the more important part of it is a safe, healthy place for these young people to come and have an experience that's positive, that probably is going to bring them back year after year with their family. And in our country now, that is so important that we have that. So it's our responsibility as friends and neighbors and cohorts in this effort to make this facility and this complex and this effort something that's really, really special, not only for our state, but for our nation. I am excited and pleased to be involved, and thank you for that opportunity. God bless.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate those words. At this time, if the Gatlinburg City Commission, Sevier County Commission, Sevier County School Board, the Sports Advisory Committee, Logan Kokendall and Vicki Sims, if you will follow Bronson, if you would raise your hand and follow him, we'll go outside for the ribbon cutting. Anyone else that would like to participate and watch the ribbon cutting, please go out the doors that you came in, and please stay. We're going to have food. There's going to be tours of the facility, and thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, do a countdown.
Did somebody count down, MC?
Who can count?
Okay, count down from 5. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Wham!
It took 3 times.
Well done, well done. You didn't get your finger.
Okay.
Didn't get your finger.
Just tugging each other. Y'all don't mind, do you?
Whatever needs to be done. So today's his birthday? Yes, sir. Yep.
Me? Right here.
Yeah. At least we're not taking the knee in the shoulder.
Good looks on this end.
Don't go anywhere.
But actually, that kind of made
Yes, ma'am. Concession, one concession. And again. Fantastic.
Thank you. That's such a great.
Did we find any more soccer balls?
Okay, now.
Whoa.
Yay! Very good.
Such a great thrill to be here as we celebrate the grand opening of a wonderful facility here today.
Oh yeah, baby. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah!
Now watch. He can throw it back. Throw it back.
As we enjoy a beautiful smoky.
Step, throw it back. He can throw.
It is a celebration all afternoon long.